Hello guys and welcome to Code Decode. In this video we are going to see the implementation of binary tree in Java. So what is a binary tree? Binary tree is a hierarchical data structure and not a linear data structure like stack or queues. Each node in a binary tree can contain 0, 1 or at most 2 children nodes. We can traverse only from a parent node to its children nodes and never back from the children nodes to its parent. We can define a binary tree in two broad categories. First one is the ordinary binary tree and the second one is the unordered binary tree. The ordered binary tree is also called as binary search tree, and in this tree each node, which is the parent, will have a value less than itself on the left side, and on the right side it will have a value greater than itself. In the unordered binary tree there is no specific set of rules which need to be followed, so we can insert nodes wherever we want. So now let's see the applications of a binary tree. Trees are used in document object models which are used by each and every browser. Trees are also used in applications which require high insertion or search frequency. Trees are also used in syntax trees in compilers. All the 3D games that we play require a tree to determine what object the game needs to render. We can represent a tree in many ways. First one is the array, second one is the linked representation, and the third one is the threaded representation. In this video, we are going to see the linked representation of a binary tree. So now let's see some essential properties of a binary tree. First of all, we need to know the number of nodes in a tree, which is represented by capital N. We also need to know what are levels. So on the tree on the right side, we can see that there on level 1 we have the node 5, on level 2 we have the node 10 and 20, and on the level 3 we have node 4 and 26. So we can think a level as a horizontal line. Then we also need to know the height of the binary tree. The height of the binary tree is the maximum level present in the binary tree for a node. So in this diagram, the binary tree here has a height of 3. Leaves are the nodes that do not contain a single child. So in this diagram, 4, 26 and 20 are the leaf nodes. So there are 4 main operations that are done on a tree. The first one is the traversals, which is the different ways to visit a nodes in a binary tree. Different traversing methods provide different order in which we can visit the nodes. The insertion operation will allow the user to insert a new node into the binary tree. The deletion operation will allow the user to remove nodes from a binary tree. The search method will help the user to find a node in a tree. Now let's see some different types of traversals. The in-order traversal is a recursive traversal which will first recurse for the left node, then print the value of the root node, and then print the values by recursively calling in-order traversal for the right node. Similarly, the pre-order and post-order are also recursive algorithms following root, left, right, and left, right, root as the sequence of printing elements. The level order traversal is a different kind of traversal. In this traversal, we print the nodes from left to right at each level. So in the diagram, as we can see, the node 5 is on the level 1. So we first print 5. Then we print all the nodes on level 2, which are 10 and 20 respectively. After that, we can print 4 and 26, which are on the level 3. We will see the implementation of all these algorithms in the code. Now let's see the algorithm for deletion. So to delete a node, we first find a leaf node. So let's take an example. Let's say the user has asked us to delete the node with value 10. So what we do is that we first find a leaf node by traversing the tree in level order. So we will find the node with value 20 as the leaf node. Then what we do is that we delete the node 20 and assign the value of that deleted node to the node we wanted to delete. So the node at 10 will have the value of 20 and the node which was previously having the value 20 will be deleted. So now let's jump right into the coding part.
Have you faced the problem that you have applied to many jobs in various companies via their own websites or through various platforms like Naukri, but they are not replying to your candidature? So there's a problem, but there's a bridge between these large giant companies and you. That is nothing but Relevel by Unacademy. These Relevel people have tie-ups with many companies like Cred, Razorpay, 1MG and Zoomcar and many more. These companies are now hiring freshers too, that too at a very big package offers. That is up to as high as 38 LPM. All you need to do is just go to their website. The link is given in the description below. Register by Relevel by Unacademy and participate in the test. They have 5 challenges in one test, and these are designed based on the skills you possess and the field you want to work upon. Based on the score that you achieve within 24 hours of completing the test, you will get the companies open for you. Here, your colleges, your degrees doesn't matter. What all matters is your skill set that you possess. Another very good thing about it is that if you get a job through Relevel, all the 100% of your money will be refunded back to you. Registrations are open. You can get even at the comfort of your own home and kickstart the amazing career that you have dreamt upon. You can avail 10% discount using the coupon code, that is code 10, that is also given in the description below.
So first, let's start by importing the libraries we require. We will require a linked list and queue. Now let's create the binary tree class. In this class, we will also need a node for storing the data, which will be an integer type, and each node will have a reference towards the left and the right children. Let's now create a constructor for the node. The constructor will take a data input and will assign its value to the variable data, and will also initialize the left and right variables to null. Now first, let's create a root node. The binary tree constructor will take an integer and will create a new root node with the past root data, which will be an integer. Now let's see the algorithm to insert a new node in the tree. So we will take a data input parameter from the user, which will be an integer. And now first we will create a new node with that value. Then we will also create a queue, which is a linked list from the java.util library. Then we will add the root node to the queue, and while the queue is not empty, we will remove the front element from the queue. Now first, let's remove the front element from the queue using queue.remove method. Then we will check if the left element is null. If it is null, then we can directly assign the new node to this empty value. We can do temp.left is equal to new node, and then break from the function using the return statement. Similarly, we can do this thing for the right value. So if temp.right is null, then we can do temp.right is equal to new node. If both of these conditions are not met, then we can add both the temp.left and temp.right to the queue. This means that we did not find a suitable place in the current node to add a new value, as there were both temp left and temp right which were filled previously by nodes. So we need to add them to the queue. Now let's see the in-order traversal. So in-order traversal is the left root right traversal, which means that we will first recursively execute the function on the left node of the current node, then we will print the value of the current node, and then we will again recursively execute the function on the right node. So temp is the current node. First we execute the function on the left node, then we will print out the value of the current node, and then we again execute the function on the current node's right child. Similarly, the pre-order traversal is the traversal in which first we print out the current node's value, then recursively execute the function for the left as well as the right node. For the post-order traversal, we first print the values for the recursive function executed on the left node, then the right node, and then print out the value of the current node. So let's see the implementation of in-order traversal by taking an example. Okay, so in the PPT we saw that the sequence of in-order traversal is left, root, right. So the left and right calls are actually recursive calls on the left child as well as the right child respectively. And the root node is the current node. So instead of writing the root node, we will just replace it with current node. Okay, so first we will start from the root node. Okay, first we will pass the root node, which was phi, to the function. Now we will recursively execute the in-order traversal function first on the left child of phi, right? So we will execute the function on node 10. Then after arriving at node 10, we will again execute the in-order traversal function for node 4 because it is the left child of node 10. So when we arrive at node 4, we will execute the function on the left child of node 4. But as it is null, it will just return from the function. Then we will print the value of 4 because we were at node 4. We first executed the left child for 4 in the in-order traversal. Now we can print the value of current node which is 4. Okay. Now we will execute the in-order traversal function on the right child of 4. But as the right child of 4 is null, it will just simply return from that. Okay. So now the in-order traversal of node 4 is done, which is the left child of 10, right? So this part of node 10 is over. So now we can print the value of the node 10. Okay. Now after these two things for node 10 is over, we can go to the right child of node 10 and recursively execute the in-order function on it. So we will pass the node with value 13 here and we will execute the in-order function. As it is not null, so it will not return. Then it will execute the in-order traversal for the left child of 13. But as it is null, it will go null will be passed in temp.left and it will just simply return. Then we can print the value of 13 because the left child of 13 was null, so it has returned from that. So after the value of 13 is printed, we can execute the in-order for the right child of 13. But as it is null, it will again return back to 13. Okay. So now the left, current and right for the node 10 are executed, correct? Because first we printed 4, then we printed 10 and then we printed 13. So the in-order traversal for node 10 is over, which is the left child of phi. Okay. So now this part, which is the left child of phi, is over. Okay. Now we can print the value of node phi because it is the current element. So we print phi. Then after that we recursively execute the same function on the right child of phi, which is 20. So we will pass the node 20 here and we will execute this function. Then again, as its left and right children are null, we will not print anything for the children. We will just print 20, right? So now let's see the pre-order traversal. So pre-order traversal is like first we will print the current node, then we will recursively print the left node, and then we will recursively print the right node. Okay, and by recursive we mean that we will recursively add the children of the left as well as right nodes by passing them as parameter to the pre-order traversal. Okay, so first we will start from phi, right? We will pass phi to the pre-order function. Then we will see that if temp is null. So as the node phi is not null, so it will not execute. Then first we are printing the value of the current node, right? So first we will print phi. Then we will recursively execute the pre-order function first on the left node and then on the right node. So now first let's execute the function on node 10. Okay. So when we execute the function on node 10, first we will print the value of node 10 because first we have to print the current value, right? After we print the current value of the node 10, then we will execute the function on its left child and then right child. So as the left child is 4 and the right child is 13, they will so we can print them 4 and then 13. So now the pre-order traversal for the left child of 5 is done, right? Then now we can execute the pre-order traversal for the right child of 5, which is 20. So as 20 does not have any children, we can simply print 20. Right. So now let's see the execution of the post order traversal. In post order, first we recursively execute the function for left, then right, and then print the value of the current node. Okay. So first we will again start from the root node, which is 5. We will not print its value. First we will recursively go to its left child, which is 10. Then we will again go to the left child of 10 first, which is 4. So as 4 does not have a single child, we can directly print 4. Now previously we were at 10, so the scheme is like left, right, and then current. So we were at 10, we have printed the value of the left child of 10. Now we can print the value of the right child of 10, which is 13. Now as left and right are over, we can print the value of the current node, which is 10. Now before 10 we were at 5, right? So the post order traversal for the left children of 5 is over. Now we can execute the post order traversal for the right children of 5. So as there is just one value, which is 20, and it does not have a single children, we can directly print 20 there. Now as the left and the right children are recursively executed and printed for node 5, which were 10 and 20, we can now print the value of the current node, which was 5. Okay, so this was the execution of the in order, pre-order, and post-order traversals. So in level order traversal, we will not require the temporary node, we will just require the root node. So first we will again create a queue that will be a linked list of nodes. In this queue, we will first add the root element to the queue. Then while the queue is not empty, we will remove the front element from the queue and then print out its value. Then we will check if the left value of the current node is null or not. If it is not null, then it means that there is a node on the left side. Then we will insert that node to the queue. Similarly, we will do the same process for the right node. So if current is not null, then it means that there is a node on the left side. So we can add that node to the queue. We will do the similar process for the right node also. Now let's see the algorithm to delete a node from the tree. So to delete a node, the user will pass us a integer data, which will be the value of the node that we want to delete. So in the deletion algorithm, first what we do is that we find a leaf node, then we delete the leaf node and then assign the value of the leaf node to the value that the user has passed. So we need to basically find two nodes, a leaf node and a node of which the value the user has passed. So first we will start by creating a linked list and then we will add the root element to the queue. Now let's make a variable node to replace, which will be the node which we will find which has the data same as the user has passed us. So we will iterate the queue, and while the queue is not empty, we will remove the front element from the queue using the queue.remove method. Then we will check if the current node's data is the same as the data that the user has passed. Then it means that we have found the node that we want to replace its value with a leaf node. So we can assign that node's value to the toReplace variable. Else, if it is not the case, then we can simply add the left and the right children if they exist to the queue. Now let's first clear the queue. This will remove all the elements that were previously in the queue. Now let's again add the root element to the queue and now search for a leaf node in the tree. We will at last delete the leaf node from the tree. So to find this node, we will make a variable named leaf node to delete. Now while the queue is not empty, we will remove the front element from the queue and check whether its left child or the right child is a leaf. So first we need to check if the current node has a left child. If it does, then we can check if the left child does not have a single another child to itself. We can check this by current.left.left and current.left.right. If both of these values are null, then it means that the current.left child of the current node does not have a single child, which means that it is a leaf node. So that now we can assign its value to the leaf node to delete variable. Now we can make the left node of the current element as null, as we also want to make the reference of the current node's left child to null, because we are going to delete the node afterwards. Now if both of these cases are not true, then it means that the current dot left or current dot right nodes can be added to the queue. So we will check if there are left or right children to the current node, and if yes, then we can add them to the queue. Now we essentially have two variables, to replace and leaf node to delete. So first we assign the value of leaf node to the variable we want to replace. Then we assign the null value to the leaf node that we wanted to delete. It will essentially remove all the storage capacity of this variable and it will become null. Now let's create the main function and test if our binary tree class is working or not. So we will try to recreate the tree that we have seen in the diagrams. The insertion happens in level order type, and which means that whenever we find a free space on the left or the right side of a node, then we insert the new element there. So first we'll start by inserting 5, then 10, then 20, and then 4 and 26, which will create the tree that we have seen in the diagram. So first test if the in-order, pre-order and post-order traversals are working or not by printing out their values. Let's also print out a simple line that will tell us what order traversal that we have currently printed. Let's also print out the level order traversal of the tree. We do not need a single parameter for the level order traversal, so we will remove the root element from the parameters. So instead of using print line in the recursive algorithms, let's use just print so that the data will be printed side by side. As we can see, we get the values from the PPT. Now let's see if the delete function is working or not. So after that delete function is executed, the node with value 10 will be replaced by 20, and the node previously having the value 20 will be deleted. So the level order traversal would be 5, 10, 4 and 26.